Okay, so factors now. Factors that may shift the demand curve. Aside income, we talked about income. Income is the amount of money an individual makes. So the amount of money you make and determine the quantity demanded of the product you're going to want. Because income, most of the time, when we talk about this income, we're talking about disposable income. Disposable income is that income that you have left as soon as you are done with paying your tax. You've paid your tax. So disposable income is that amount of money that is with you that is either you can spend or save. You get disposable income here. Okay. So for other factors that may shift the demand curve, go to page, which page is this? Just go down to factors that may shift the demand curve. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. It said price is the main factor that affects the quantity demanded. However, there are many other factors, and each of them may actually shift the demand curve. Aside price, we talked about price. Price will not shift the demand curve. Price leads to a movement along the demand curve. And when we talk about movement along demand curve, we're talking about contraction or expansion. That's about price. But when we talk about other factors that shift the demand curve, here, price remains constant. Ceteris paribus. That means price is not going to change at this point in time. But other factors will change. Other factors like income, which we've talked about. So income can increase or decrease. If income is increasing, the amount of money available for you to spend will increase, will shift your demand curve, will shift demand curve rightward. If income is falling, if your level of income is falling, the amount of money that is going to be available for you will what? Will fall. It will shift your demand curve leftward. That's done. Now we take each one at a time. We have advertisement. For advertising, when we talk about advertisement, we're talking about customers' awareness about our product, right? When you advertise the product, it means you want people to be aware of the product, yes or no?
Yes.
A product that is not advertised, people would not know about it. Just as if we are producing a product here, nobody knows what is happening outside, except if you are advertising it. Because advertisement will create awareness about your product. So if advertisement is successful, if you are able to advertise your product successfully, it will shift your demand curve rightward. Why? Because a lot of customers are now aware of the benefit of consuming your product. So the demand curve will shift what? Rightward. Do you get the point here?
Yes.
If advertisement is informative and consumers feel it is beneficial for them, they will demand for your product. Yes or no? Yes. At that point in time, the demand for a product will shift. The demand for the product will increase, yes, shifting the demand curve rightward. Right. I think it's clear. Yes. That is about advertisement. Then we go to demographic changes. We're talking about changes in population, population. So the level of the number of people available can also determine if demand for a product will increase or not. Yes or no? Yeah. So if the population is increasing, the demand for products or the demand for certain products might increase, shifting the demand curve rightward. However, if the population is falling, if the population is reducing, it might shift the demand curve leftward from D1 to D3. Mm-hmm. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So you're going to get the graph anyway. Okay, I want to summarize it. That's why I'm using the schedule here, the table. So we have price of complements. When we talk about price of complements, we're talking about a complement goods are goods that goes in hand with the other goods. That means just like a laptop and the charger. So one helps the other. The consumption of one makes it necessary for us to consume the second. That is complementary. Tea and sugar, yeah, they are complementary goods. So the price of complementary good is not the same as the price of the goods. Please note this. The price of complementary good will shift demand curve. The price of goods will lead to movement along the demand curve. So here we're talking about the price of complementary goods. So the price of sugar, an increase in the price of sugar might reduce the quantity demanded of tea. Yeah. Do you get it? Like fuel and car, or car insurance and car. So an increase in the price of car insurance, the amount you pay on your car insurance, if it increases, it might reduce the quantity demanded of cars. Yeah. Do you understand? These are complementary goods. Are they clear? So if the price of complementary goods fall, it might increase the quantity demanded of its complement. I think it's clear. Yes. We go to price of substitute. What are substitute goods? These are goods that can be used in place of another. So, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they are substitute goods. So if the price of Coca-Cola increases, it might mean that the quantity demanded of Pepsi increases. It is not the price of Coca-Cola here. It's the price of substitute, which is what we are referring to. Because we are comparing two goods that are homogeneous, goods that can be used in place of another. That is what we are comparing here. So if we are comparing the price of a substitute good, it could lead to what? A shift in the quantity demand, a shift in the demand curve. Is it clear?
Yes.
Fashion and taste. Fashion and taste is not about price. It is about what is in vogue. What is in vogue? What is trending?
It's trending.
Do you understand? So that could shift the demand curve rightward or leftward. I think it's clear. And income is also there. We talked about income, the amount of money available for you. So if the amount of money available for you increases, the demand, your demand curve will shift rightward. Not only that, if you feel that in the future your income level will rise, it might make you to demand more for goods or services. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Do you understand? We call it upward purchasing. Do you understand?
Okay.
Is it clear? Any question about that?
No, I think
it's clear, right? So we've talked about advertisement. Now look at the demand. Look at the curve here. Quantity of goods. Look at it here for quantity of goods. For advertisement, let's use advertisement for the graph here. That means figure 4.2. Are you there? Figure 4.2.
Yeah.
Okay. If advertisement is successful, the demand curve will shift rightward from D1 to D2. If firms, businesses are unable to successfully advertise their product, people won't be aware of the product. So consumers might not demand for such product because they don't know about it in the market. So that could shift the demand curve leftward from D1 to D3. And the quantity demanded will contract from Q1 to Q3. Yeah. Price remains the same. Here, it's not about price. The price might fall, the price might rise. It does not affect them here. When I don't know about the product, I won't want to buy it. I won't even care about the price. So it is not about price. It's about how firms are able to successfully advertise or create awareness about their products. Is it clear? We have an activity, we don't need that. So we go to income here. Are you there, guys? Income. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said, generally when disposable income rises, demand for goods will also rise. For example, if wages and salaries rise in the economy, people may decide to spend more money going out to restaurants. They may take an extra holiday or they may buy a new car. These are all normal goods. Like I told you earlier, we have normal goods and inferior goods. Why do we call them normal goods? We call them normal goods because these goods, we buy them when our level of income increases. These are the goods we think about. These are the products, these are the services we think about when we have so much money with us. Do you get the point about normal goods here? Yeah. These are goods that consumer falls to buy. They want to buy more of them because their level of income has increased. But when our level of income falls, those goods that come to our mind that, oh, this is what we have to buy right now, they are inferior goods. So how goods become inferior, the class of being inferior or normal depends on the level of income. Mm-hmm. You get it? So we consider these goods as inferior if we buy them whenever our level of income falls. We consider these goods as normal if we buy them or if we think about buying them if our level of income increases. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that's about that. So if our income increases, the demand for inferior goods would fall, shifting the demand for inferior goods leftward from D1 to D3. D3 for inferior goods. At that point in time, normal goods, the demand for normal goods will shift rightward from D1 to D2 for normal goods. Do you get the point here? I'm using this graph in figure 4.2 to explain normal goods and inferior goods. If our income level increases, the demand for normal goods will increase, shifting the demand curve rightward from D1 to D2. At that point in time, the demand for inferior goods will fall, shifting the demand curve leftward from D1 to D3. Price remains the same, ceteris paribus. Clear, right?
Mhm.
Good. We go to fashion and taste. We talked about it. Trends. Friends influences. Oh, my friends, our friends, this is what they used to buy now. If this is what we used to buy right now, the demand
Or even what they see on the internet.
yeah, what is trending? Fashion. Old fashion things, the demand for them will fall. Just like when you talk about iPhone X now and iPhone 12 or 13.
Mhm.
The demand for iPhone X will fall at this point in time. Why the demand for iPhone 12, 13 will increase? Because it is
And when the demand falls, the price will.
we're not going to discuss price at all.
So it has nothing to do with.
We must never talk about price when we're talking about shift, please. Yes, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Do you get the point here? That's why we said all things being equal, ceteris paribus, price remains constant when we're talking about shift. And when we're talking about price, other factors that could affect demand will remain constant too.
Mhm.
When you're talking about price, other factors remain constant. When you're talking about other factors, price remains constant. Is it clear? Is it clear, please? For price of substitutes, if the price of Coca-Cola, like I said earlier, increases, consumers might start thinking about Pepsi if the price of Pepsi is affordable. Did you get the point?
Yeah.
Not that the price of Pepsi is 3 and the price of Coca-Cola now is 3. It doesn't change anything. We're talking about if the price of Coca-Cola increases to 3 and the price of Pepsi is still 2.5. The demand for Coca-Cola would shift leftward, while the demand for Pepsi might shift rightward because they are substitutes. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Any question about that? We talked about complements too, which is clear, right? Population changes also can shift demand curve rightward or leftward. Any question about it? Any question, please?
No, that's
okay. Then we have the questions and answers. Please get it done. Question, multiple choice question. Yes. Okay.